Todd Grimshaw, Gareth Pierce, is living in hell. What began as a volatile romance has now curdled into something far darker. Todd's relationship with Theo Silverton, James Cartwright, has descended into a harrowing cycle of coercion, violence and psychological torture on Coronation Street. Next week, the pair take center stage in a bold and unsettling episode told entirely through the cold, unblinking eyes of security cameras, CCTV and police body cam footage. After yet another incident forces emergency services onto the cobbles, viewers are left bleeding for the moment Todd finally escapes his increasingly dangerous boyfriend. But the question lingers, who can save him, and will it be in time? Theo was not always framed as a monster. Initially, he arrived wrapped in sympathy, a man scarred by brutal conversion therapy, carrying wounds that ran deep and unseen. As Todd pursued the relationship, weathering hesitation and doubt, Theo made what seemed like a brave decision. He left his wife Danielle, Natalie Anderson, and began living openly as a gay man. Danielle, meanwhile, entered a relationship with Noah Headley, Richard Windsor, the very man responsible for Theo's traumatic therapy, sparking a vicious custody battle over their children. Yet early warning signs soon emerged, behaviors that could not be dismissed as the echoes of trauma. Theo issued dark threats to James Bailey, Jason Calendar, warning him to stay away from Todd. Past incidents of violence surfaced. He demanded Todd cut ties with ex-boyfriend Billy Mayhew, Daniel Brocklebank. Still, Todd tried to understand, to empathize, to believe. As Gareth Pierce has explained, Todd sees a man who has suppressed his identity for years. He believes encouragement, patience and love might be enough. Todd spots the warning signs, but clings to the dangerous hope that love can fix what is broken. That illusion shattered in horrifying scenes when Theo crossed into physical humiliation, force-feeding Todd a kebab while degrading him verbally. It was cruelty masquerading as control. Yet even then, Theo slithered back into Todd's life, armed with promises of therapy, of change, of redemption. A day of drinking in Manchester's gay village peeled back more layers when Theo ran into his ex-boyfriend Owen, Dominic Bellamy. Owen had escaped Theo's abuse and sought help, emerging with devastating clarity. He stripped away Theo's excuses, the church, religion, Danielle, and delivered the truth bluntly: it's you. It's in you. Theo's manipulation was never loud or dramatic. It was quiet, persistent, the kind of love that keeps a spare key in a drawer and a light on long after hope should have gone out. At George's funeral parlor, the scent of lavender and waxed wood was replaced by panic. George watched the situation unravel in small, terrifying increments. Bernie noticed him staring at his phone, then toward the flat above the doves, and she knew. Calm snapped into resolve. We can't just stand here, she said. Christina Boyd moved with precision. Called manipulative by some, she was in truth a woman skilled at reading weakness, and protecting those she loved. When George voiced his suspicions, Christina was already thinking ahead. We gather proof, she said, and we make it impossible to ignore. Sarah Platt drove like urgency sat beside her. Her history with Todd was tangled, emotional, enduring. Seeing the photos, bruises disguised by excuses, messages Theo carelessly left open, something inside her hardened. Sarah does not do silence when noise is required. She would confront. She would drag the truth into the open. Billy Mayhew, Todd's anchor in earlier seasons, had sensed something was wrong from the start. When he saw CCTV of Theo hauling something heavy into the flat, and body cam footage echoing a lie Todd had told a nurse, his restraint vanished. This was not weakness. It was resolve. Summer, family to Todd in every way that mattered, felt the shift too. Cancelled meetings. A trembling voice on the phone. Her instinct was simple and fearless. She would be loud if needed. She would bring Eileen home if that's what it took. Below them, Dev listened. A landlord notices patterns. That night, he heard a slammed door and a pleading voice muffled by walls. He hesitated, then chose not to look away. Later, his statement would become a crucial hinge in the case. Alia and Yasmin formed an unlikely alliance. Alia asked sharp questions. Yasmin read the bruises no one else saw, the kind etched by shame. When Yasmin noticed patterns in Theo's temper and language, she knew silence was no longer an option. Evidence began to gather, small, sober, undeniable. Christina urged George to document absences and lock changes. Sarah followed Theo, photographing receipts and vans abandoned like grotesque offerings. Billy called in favors. Summer checked in hourly. They became human CCTV. The turning point was painfully ordinary. A kebab delivery left outside the flat. Humiliation weaponized through food. Again. But this time, there was a receipt. Dev spotted the van. A timeline began to form. Owen returned, carrying scars and truth. His testimony was quiet, devastating, precise. Manipulation, isolation, the same phrases, the same tactics. Theo fought back with charm and denial, playing on the town's discomfort with intervention. But isolation always leaves tracks. George and Christina compiled a dossier, not cinematic, but convincing. The police listened. When Theo performed remorse, the cameras caught the cracks. When Todd was asked if he wanted to press charges, his voice was small, then steadied. Yes. Rescue did not come as a dramatic showdown in the rain. It came as people arriving. Summer first. Then Sarah, George and Christina, Billy, Dev, Bernie calling for help. They formed a ring around Todd. Theo had counted on isolation. He had never counted on a community. Todd sat in the back of a police car, smaller than ever, and relieved. The cameras captured it all. And in the days that followed, Weatherfield softened. Soup arrived. Doors opened. Eileen came home. Jason followed. Maggie baked scones instead of threats. Theo's end was legal, quiet, deserved. But the real victory belonged to the small acts, a nurse ticking the wrong box for the right reason. A landlord reporting a noise. A delivery driver remembering a van. Todd's recovery would not be easy. Healing never is. But he would not walk it alone. Some things the cameras never show. Quiet kitchens, spare keys, someone waiting an extra beat to ask if you're okay. And that is where the real story lives.